A2TP podcast, episode 14. We back. Hey, what's up? International Walk, in the house. How y'all doing? Just want to say appreciate the love.
The love, the likes, the shares, the comments.
No, who are you?
Oh.
You want to introduce yourself?
Well, you
I just was just saying appreciate the love.
It's Tosh. Hey, episode 14.
Appreciate the likes, the loves, the support, all the comments, the questions. Really appreciate that. There's a few people out there that's really been in the question box, so I appreciate y'all. There's been a couple more likes on a couple of the platforms that I breezed through and seen, and just want to say thank you and appreciate you for all that. One view is a good view for us. It's just about the conversation and the content. Excuse me. Wows and woes.
So my wow of the week, I know last week we talked about me taking on more responsibility with work and it being really stressful, and it is still stressful, but I appreciate you having you to kind of talk me through those hard days. And so last episode, and then Friday came, or the end of the week, and it was really stressful, but then having a weekend to kind of refresh, get my head together. The week so far has been great, so proud of myself and grateful for.
So you didn't have no bad days this week?
Not in terms of that, not in terms of that.
I'm talking about in terms of work.
No. Work has been, it's still it's still a lot. I won't say it's still stressful. I haven't allowed it to get me to that point of it being stressful, where I feel overwhelmed. So using tools that we talk about, that has helped in that capacity. So that was the why. I was just proud of myself and it being able to look at things on a brighter side.
That's good. Proud of you for that too. Woes? Downs? Something bad happened, something that didn't like your tasting of, something you want to bitch about?
Not me per se directly, but I guess to all of us. Another young black man killed by police in an
that's right.
accident in
what was his name?
Dante Wright. And I have to be honest, I don't know all the details because sometimes
I seen the video, and from what I saw, he was pulled over. He was asked to get out of the car.
Let me ask you something. I saw something about the reason for him being pulled over was because he had an air freshener hanger from his window.
Yeah, that's illegal. Okay.
No, I was just asking because again, I haven't read anything.
I'm just
saw that.
Some people are saying that because they want to say that and get that out there because it sounds like it's trivial. Mm-hmm. And it is. It's a trivial thing to be pulled over for, but you can be.
Okay.
So it's like a stupid law, like you got a distraction in your view of seeing or some shit. So he was pulled over. He was asked to get out the car, or I think they ran his name and he had warrants. So one cop got him out the car and kind of had him by his wrists. And then when the second cop came over, he started wrestling with the cops, jumped back in the car. Excuse me. And then that's when, as he was trying to pull off, they shot him up. And then he still took off in the car. So again, I don't know what happened. Not that it matters, because that's what the other people do, white people do, what happened before. Yeah. So he got shot up like that, and that's just what I saw. It was like a 15-second clip. And that's what it was.
But it's just like, again, and my thing is this. If the narrative was, because we know we've seen in some stories where the cops view, like I remember a couple years ago, it was a couple females that got killed. It was something happening in the mall. I don't know if they was shoplifting or what. They jumped in the car and they were speeding towards the cops. The cops viewed that as them having a weapon, and they shot and killed them. Mm-hmm. Okay, whether you think it's right or wrong, whatever, they shot and killed them. They admittedly shot and killed them because they felt like they were coming at them with a weapon.
Right.
So in this case, if they felt like, oh, he was driving off and we felt like we were in harm's way, so we shot him, that's one narrative. But the narrative
the cops were on the side of the car, so I don't think they could say that they were in harm. The two cops, one cop with the video, which was, I think, the cop that shot him, and the other cop who initially got him out the car were at the driver door.
So the narrative that they're sharing as what they're saying that happened, the cop's intent was to taser him, which I read that she said, I'm going to taser you,
Mm-hmm.
but she pulled out her gun and shot him.
And said it was a mistake.
Just looking at the small details that I've seen, because again, I've just seen snippets. I read somewhere where it said she was a long tenured cop, I think like 20 something years, so several years of training. Also, it was mentioned that cops are trained from day one. You hold your taser on whatever is your least dominant side, and your gun on the other side.
On the dominant hand side.
Okay. Then I read and I actually did some research because I was curious.
We're going long into this though.
I know, but I just want to say, I did some research, and a taser weighs like 8 ounces.
Right.
A gun, I think I read it weighs like 37 ounces. Huge difference. So I just looking at those details, it's like one you should know, one is on one side, one is on the other. The weight and just you pulling
so
your
you're
gun,
saying she wanted to kill him and killed him?
No, I'm not saying she wanted to kill him and kill him.
So you saying it was a mistake? She reached for her or tried to get her taser and grabbed her gun and shot.
I do believe it probably was a mistake, but I also believe that there needs to be some repercussions. We can't keep having these mistakes.
No, like, I agree with you. There should be something.
But I don't think it was like, she woke up, or in that moment she said, and I'm not, people may not agree with this. I would think it takes too much thought in those split seconds to make the decision to say, I'm going to tase you, but I'm really going to pull out my gun and shoot you because I want to kill you, but I want to make it seem like it was a mistake. I think there's way too much thought to go into it for her to think that, she intentionally pulled out her gun to shoot him. I think it really was a mistake, but it just keeps happening.
I think it's different for some people. I think there should be repercussions, and obviously she's in jail. There should be repercussions, but it's different for different people. And number one, cops are and I'm not trying to defend cops in no kind of way. I'm just saying they're scared. Their training sucks, and they already scared. So it's like what you just said is like, okay, it's too much thought. And some people are steady hand people, and when they're in chaotic situations, they do a lot of thinking, analyze stuff. They can go through stuff, compartmentalize, and they can handle and channel their fight or flight response. Other people aren't. Other people get razzled in chaotic situations, and they can't pinpoint what to look at and what to pay attention to, and they get all frazzled and dazzled, and you're in the midst of your flight or flight response. It's you break down because you don't know what to do. And that's what I think most cops, they deal with. The training sucks. They don't have a lot of it. It's like 3-4 weeks, 6 weeks to become a cop or something like that. And then you get a gun to go out, and you legally have the right to kill people if your life is threatened, or not even if your life is threatened. If you feel your life is threatened, you have the right to kill somebody. And that's where I think it's fucked up at.
So I hear what you're saying.
So when I hear situations like this, and a cop says, I meant to tase him. Yeah, it's flat out wrong, and you should go to jail. You took a life. But ultimately, I know that's not going to happen. And like, I just want to put that out there. They don't have enough training, and they're scared. And
even after her being on the force for 20 years,
you can be on the force for 20 years and skate and not have a whole lot of chaotic situations. Yeah, you don't have to be like a cop for 25 years who was hitting the beat every day and out there rustling and bustling. No, you could have made your way to the top, skated to the top, and you doing it just because I'm trying to get a pension.
I hear you. It's just tiring and exhausting, especially when we keep encountering these situations where it's young black men that's killed, whether and I'm excluding the Derek Chauvin murder because I'm not even
Derek Chauvin murder? The George Floyd murder?
Well, Derek Chauvin did the murder.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm excluding
Just
the
way
murder.
You worded it,
yeah,
though.
Well, the murder that he did. Because that clearly was murder. Like, he didn't make a mistake in that case, I don't believe. So I'm excluding that. But in these cases where, like this, I do believe it was a mistake, it's just tiring to be like, again, because, like, when we hear these instances of, you know, the white mass murderers who go into the church, or the spas that, you know, where that situation just happened, or whatever other several movie theaters, they're apprehended.
There was just an incident yesterday where a white man was pulled over, and it's a video out today where he was pulled over and the cop was arguing with him. He didn't want to get out of his car, and the cop grabbed him by his wrist, and the white man told him, I have a gun in here, and if you pull me out my car, I'll shoot you. Told the cop that. Mm-hmm. And it just went on. They kept with a verbal discourse back and forth, but the guy wasn't shot, even after he threatened the cop, and the cop knew that he had a gun in the car. Like, after he ran his name, he knew he had a concealed weapon in the car. He asked him if he had a weapon in the car. He said yeah, and then he told the cop, I'm going to shoot you if you pull me out my car.
And I know those are two completely, like, somebody playing devil's advocate can say, well, that's one cop, this was a different cop, and I get it, but you know, to your
black
point,
people to comply. That's the point in that, in me saying that this guy was white and not complying.
But that's what I'm saying. To your point, there's so many examples of white people acting a fool when having encounters with the police and not being shot. My thing is, why can't there be a different thought pattern where, okay, the young boy jumped in the car, he was getting ready to pull off. Why didn't y'all go jump in the car and follow him? Like, you know, I mean, it could have been several different options in how to handle it. Maybe tasing him
because
if she had tased him. Because they don't have the training,
they don't know what to do. That's the whole point. They don't know what to do. And that sounds simple, like, okay, jump in your car and chase them. But then they're going to say, okay, well, we don't want to chase people. We creating a safety hazard. We don't know if he had a gun. I'm just saying all the bullshit that they've said over the years to justify their actions.
I hear you. And
they're going to say that's not our protocol. That's not our 8-week training for us to get in the car and chase them.
It's just tiring. It's sad. This is why I don't want to watch another, and I'm not saying they're wrong in doing this, but I don't want to watch another march, another riot, another city being burned down. Like, whatever happens, it happens, and you can't blame people for being frustrated. Now, I'm not condoning the looting and stealing washing machines and Mac machines as a result of it, but the actual act of frustration and really, like, crying out because of the exhaustion and having to continually encounter this, it is what it is at this point. It's tiring.
It is tiring. It's very tiring. I get it.
I know we digressed a lot. What was your wow of the week?
My wow of the week was... Shit, what happened this week? Something good happened this week. I forgot.
Of course.
What happened?
I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know specifically. You woke up every day. That was good for me. That's good.
That's number one. That's number one. I woke up every week. But it slips my mind. Something happened. Or they'd be at work.
The mail on Friday?
The mail?
What did you get in the mail on Friday?
I knew it was something. Yeah. Brother got his picture card, his license card, my whip card. So I'm out here totally legal now, 1,000%.
Who got the keys to the Jeep?
That's what's up. About to jump in a range or something. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm just joking. Why are you looking like that? I'm not. My woe was just another black dude got shot. That's kind of fucked up. I actually think it was two. It's another shooting that happened too. I think it was today, but yeah, somebody else was killed by the hands of the police.
And can we also have a moment of silence?
Who we have a moment of silence for?
DMX died.
Oh, we don't even worry about that. We
Okay.
about to get to that point.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So you just,
I'm sorry.
I
don't know.
You're
You're
just
the
the co-host. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. So I
But
apologize.
that's why you have to follow.
I'm following.
That's what the co-host does.
I'm
The
following.
host hosts, the co-host follows.
I'll be your co.
Okay. So you be like jumping out like
host,
it's
I'll
not double Dutch. If it was double Dutch, then you would go first.
So basically, tell me play my part.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay in my
Please,
lane.
Just please, and you do a great job. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Can I have
girl.
a kiss?
Sure.
We just had a little moment before the recording, so I just want to be completely transparent. But this is my baby, and I love him. We were having some conversation, and I call, sometimes we speak in ebonics when we speak to our friends, and there's certain ways that he don't like me to speak to him, and it kind of slipped out, not in a disrespectful way, so our vibe was a little bit off. Y'all probably peeped that in the beginning, but we good, right?
Yeah, we good.
You love me?
I do love you.
Give me another kiss.
You acknowledge you could have did that 10 minutes ago, and you didn't have to do it on camera.
Are we going to belabor the issue?
No, I'm just saying you didn't have to do it on camera. You could have did it personally, and we would have been fine.
I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
All right,
it won't
Ving
happen
Rhames.
again.
All right, Ving Rhames. The fuck is that?
I'm sorry.
Right.
I made a mistake.
Right,
it won't happen again. I love
boy.
you.
You didn't plant no weed in the garden. The fuck is that?
All right.
This is near and dear to my heart, and I'm not gonna cry, but DMX died, and this was like a death that was like a Kobe death, like that. It just hit me different because these guys is my age, and I grew up watching every basketball game Kobe Bryant ever played, and I grew up just about listening to every song DMX ever rapped. So just to see like that dude be who he is, show up anywhere in life, everywhere in life, just being him is inspiring to see. His music, it speaks for itself. That's why I liked him. His voice was unique to himself, and he was. You talk about an anointed a person. There's nobody, us or anybody out there listening, or anybody that's ever going to see this is ever going to meet anybody that reminds them of DMX. They're not going to sound like him. They're not going to act like him. He was just one person that comes in a lifetime. This is just what I feel. And his death was fucked up. Like, I feel for his kids, his 17 damn kids, and his girl, his baby moms, like all that stuff. It's just fucked up that he only got, a person that's touched by God like that, he only got 50 years. And it sounds weird to say only 50 when people get 4 and 6 months and 10. Like, I get that. But you just think that guys like him, and for sports, I'm a sports guy, guys like Kobe, you just think that they're always going to be around. Like, you'll just, you'll grow old with them. And when people die of your age bracket, it instantly makes you, depending on what age you are, it makes you think about your own mortality. And I hate to do that. I hate to think about death or what's God got in store for me in a negative sense. So yeah, that's how I feel about DMX. He was a true blue street dude who showed up everywhere, no matter what interview, no matter what, he showed up sounding and talking and being himself. And he didn't need jewelry, he didn't need clothes, he didn't need cars, or I don't think there's a picture out there of DMX in a Phantom or anything like that. Like, he just was DMX. And that's what you could appreciate about him, is that every time you saw him, you was going to get that same dude who sound like that, who talk like that, who was street like that. And so it didn't matter where you saw him. If he was coming around the corner, you knew what you was getting with that dude. And X. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you said. I think, one of the most prolific things that during his life, he was always known to be that powerhouse, that force that was just going to light up a room and not, with, like you said, with the flashiness and all that. Everybody, if you ever listen to an interview, he talk about girls like, a lot of men do, and rappers and stuff, but he wasn't into that flashy lifestyle. He didn't care about that, but you knew you was gonna get a good prayer. You knew he was gonna throw some God in the mix, no matter what his demons were that he fought in his life. God was in the mix of all of that, and he let anybody know that came in his path. He a rapper. He got 17 kids. He had a battle with addiction. He did some crimes in his life. So you was gonna know all that, but you was gonna know that he was a man of God. And I can't say like, oh, I've tried to emulate DMX, but just in thinking about that, that's something that I want to make sure that I always do, no matter what I'm involved in. Yeah, everything may not be like I often say here. I know this isn't a spiritual show, but God is a part of my life, and no matter where I am, I'm going to share that. And I think that's something that he did too, because nothing that we do is possible without God. So I don't care what the platform is, I'm bringing God with me. He's going to be in the mix. I ain't saying I'm going to always break out in a prayer like he would, but I'm always going to pray in my head. So that was one thing, like during his life, that that was a part of him, that was knitted in his fabric.
He was anointed.
Yeah,
he was anointed.
And then
it came out of him effortlessly. It wasn't an act,
because it was just part of him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, he didn't have to put on anything to show up. He didn't have to put on no chain. He didn't have to put on no persona, no nothing. He woke up like that.
Yeah.
Good morning. Like, he woke up like that. Like, that's just how he woke up, and that's cool as shit to be that way every day. Like, that's cool.
And it just came across as so authentic, like in the sense that, again, no matter what negative stuff you knew about him or heard about him or saw about him, when he prayed, you felt it. You had he had your attention. And I mean, I of course can't speak to how people of a different faith felt, but that connection that he had with God, it was just amazing. It was powerful. And again, it was just a reminder to me that no matter what you're doing in life, no matter where you are in life, you bring God along with you. If it's a rap concert, he was having prayer. He was thanking Jesus in the middle of the Rockefeller tour. Like, it didn't matter. Like, again, I know this isn't a spiritual show, but when God says, don't be ashamed of me, like, he lived that. He was bringing God with him everywhere. So that's something that I hope that I can emulate consistently and continually throughout my life. And then to also piggyback on what you said, he was authentically himself, like where he didn't need the chains and the flashy clothes, and why everybody else might have been wearing whatever they were wearing, whatever the fashions were. You told me, and I saw this, but I didn't remember that particular piece you said in the documentary about the Rockefeller tour, where they was asking him what he wanted to wear. He was like,
man, jean set, cut the sleeves off, dog. He wanted some Timbs and a jean set so he could cut the fucking sleeves off. Like, that's how he rocked the show.
Yeah, like,
and you can't. Yeah, you got Jay on the other side who doing his thing with all the cars and the outfit changes, and that's fly too. But to be authentic like that and show up and then get on stage, all them nights and pray for everybody except him. He prayed for 50,000 people and never really prayed for himself. Like, that's selfless. That's inspiring.
Yeah, it was. And again, and to see no matter the impact that he had on people, while yes, people are impacted by, those people that rock the flashy cars, and people are impacted by those people that have the jewelry, to show he still had that same, if not more of an impact. And that wasn't his shtick. Like, his shtick was being himself, being real, growl. You know how to do his growl?
I'm smoking now. So
growling.
But
and you know what I heard somebody say years ago about DMX? DMX was the only rapper that had all, the chicks, the fly chicks in the club, the fly guys in the club barking. Like,
gangsters barking,
like,
growling.
He had all the gangsters.
Girls barking, growling. Like, that's his reach. That's his reach. And I seen a video of this dude doing a show in Woodstock, and it looked like the whole world showed up. Yeah. It looked like just everybody came. And I know I wasn't there, but shit, you could lie and say, yeah, I was there. Like, it was so many goddamn people. Like, Jesus Christ. But, yeah, that dude got on stage every night, man, and prayed for 50,000 people and never really prayed for himself. And, you know, he was selfless. And I'll always play X music, And we had a little X Friday, a X weekend.
We was hyped in the car.
Yeah, like, you have to. And we went down South Street, and you could hear that shit for blocks, and bikes all out there. Like, it was a lot of people out there.
It was too many people.
Rightfully,
but
yeah.
Was,
I mean,
like,
not
really
in the midst of COVID, but
honoring him.
Rightfully so. And I hear that what they got planned for his funeral, like, that's even going to be more exciting. So, just a salute to DMX, his family, his 17 goddamn kids, and just how I grew up on his music. I remember it was times where I got in cars and you couldn't even drive off unless you put X in, or you couldn't even drive off unless a certain song was playing. And lots of that times it was either Jay-Z or DMX, or Nas. But DMX played a pivotal part in my life and soundtrack to my life. So shouts out to X, rest in peace. His kids, his baby mamas, his wife, like, just a sad thing that dude is a legend. And, you know, not saying like he was the greatest role model, but he was an anointed dude. And you're never going to meet anybody like him. I guarantee nobody got friends out there that remind them of DMX. Yeah. It just doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. He's not going to sound, your friend ain't going to sound like him, act like him. You can't, your friend would have to have a shtick. That would have to be their shtick. They would have to put that on every day. And he did it. And that's what was cool about him. That's what was dope about him. So.
You did a good voice impression.
Yeah.
Wait, what outfit he wanted to wear at the concert?
Jean set, dog. Cut the sleeves off that bitch. That's what he wanted in some Timbs. But that was him, and like I said, in the morning, he just, good morning. Like, and I never met X, but I could have just imagined, and hearing all the stories about him these last, few days, it's just dope to hear, like, he reached a lot of people like that, and he didn't pass, and people, I don't, it's like they say, like, you want to give somebody their flowers while they're here. Like, even when he was here, they gave him the respect that he deserved. Like, even though he had allegations of this and everybody thought he was broke and then he fell off and nobody had music out, like, X was still X. He could still show up and still have 40 songs that he could rock in a concert. So, I miss me with all that. Like, DMX is DMX. So that's how I feel about that. Yeah. Shouts out to X.
Shouts out to X.
We're going to take a turn and do some questions that I had in the box.
I'm excited. Did you get a lot?
No.
Okay.
Well, a few.
I'm excited.
So, first question is, it's kind of, when you read it, it's kind of like, I want you to elaborate. I'm sure you could give a one-word answer. But this is from the Chicago kid himself. And
I thought you weren't supposed to tell people.
Chicago kid don't.
Oh.
He ain't like your friends.
Oh.
Your friend's weird like that.
Well, people have the choices. Nobody asks us. We said we would keep them anonymous. But if people don't mind sharing their names, then who cares?
Yeah, you don't care.
So if you leave a question, you can say, like, you don't care if your name is written. But we just, whatever. Go ahead.
So my guy said, would you rather be at peace with yourself and at war with the world, or at peace with the world and at war with yourself?
Wow. To me, it's an easy question. It's an easy answer, but it's one of those things that's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, I'm choosing peace with myself and at war with the world 10 out of 10 times. But I do recognize that even though somebody might say that, it's probably not always an easy decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can say for myself, what I've learned over...
Do you think, hold on, do you think if you're not at peace with yourself, you can function?
No, and that's the thing. If you're not at peace with yourself,
You don't think you can function? You don't think it's from
no, okay, no, I'm
people
sorry.
not at peace with themselves that's functioning?
You can function. Everybody can. No, I'm not gonna say everybody. A lot of people function in dysfunction, and you can be at war with yourself and at peace with the world, but eventually that war with yourself is it's going to come out on the world. So you're gonna break it. Eventually, I think you would break.
Mm-hmm.
You can only hold on to that for so long.
Right.
You know, those are the people who I feel like are people pleasers and are the people who constantly do for others and forsake themselves. People that allow themselves to be a doormat. You know, eventually, at some point, you're gonna break. So you can function, but how well can you function? And what I've learned, I would say,
people out there, don't be a fucking crash dummy.
Probably over the last 2 to 3 years of my life, I've more and more and increasingly more have valued peace in life. And it's such a good feeling. Like, it's such a good feeling to the point where you kind of are, where before you may have been able to function in dysfunction, and then when you get to a certain place, you refuse, and it's like your body or your mind won't even allow you to be in that place. And then I think also the people around you start to respond to that. Like, they know certain things they can't bring to you, certain environments you don't want to be in. You know, your phone might start ringing less, you might start talking to people less, seeing people less, because and it's partly probably out of some out of respect and some out of just confusion, but they realize, like, oh, I can't call her for this, like, you know,
you're miserable, or you just got a bad attitude. And when people wallow in that pain, that misery, that always trying to function in negativity, they think peace is boring. So when things is peaceful, they're bored and they want drama to escalate. And when you start to grow and realize, okay, peace is not boredom, it's peace.
Yeah, it's solace.
Yeah, it's calm, and like, it's peace of mind. Like, it's not boredom.
And you know, that's always been one of my pet peeves.
Some people don't know how to recognize that when they just sitting back. You're not okay with yourself. You can't entertain yourself. And you gotta have the shit always going, always something drama in your hand, always in something. And when things calm down and you just there with yourself, you bored.
You know, that's one of my biggest pet peeves, when grown people say they're bored.
I'm not saying you can't get bored, but sometimes that's just peace. That's just something to wallow in, just as you do the negative stuff. Wallow in the fact that right now I got peace of mind, silence. Nobody's calling me. Nobody wants anything. I have some time to myself to do a self-care check. So that's how I feel about that.
So for me, it's always going to be peace of myself and the war with the world. And then hopefully the world will become at peace and we'll all be at peace.
I would think that would be my answer too, is to be at peace with myself always, especially in hindsight now. When you asked me that question in 2020, I probably would have said some DMX shit. Like, fuck out of here, dog.
You should answer all the questions like DMX tonight.
No, hell no. Hell no.
Or at least give me a DMX impression.
No, I did.
With each question.
No.
Okay.
I can't do that. X is X. Nobody can be him. Our second question is, would you rather, somebody asked me this, would you rather go back in time and meet your ancestors or go to the future and meet your great-great-grandkids?
Oh, wow. Would you rather go back and meet your ancestors or go in the future and meet your great-great-grandkids?
Yeah, I guess in essence, would you rather meet the people that made you, or would you rather meet the people you make?
You want me to answer or you want to go first?
I'll go first. I would say I would rather go back and meet the people that made me. So if I could go back and meet my ancestors as far back as slavery and before that, yes, I would want to do that. Great-great-grandkids, like, I think of my life now, like, I don't know my great-great-grandmother. So I don't know how common that is to know your great-great-grandmother.
Great.
So, I mean, I know my
That's
grandmother.
your grandmother's grandmother.
So I don't know how common that is or how cool that would be. So, great-great-grandkids, I'm not that thrilled about that. But
that does seem so far removed.
Yeah, ancestors, yeah.
So for me, I think I definitely would want to meet my ancestors. Because I feel like going back may give you the opportunity to learn something and possibly change. You may be able to learn something from them that may change and have a greater impact on who your great-great-grandkids are or how their life would be. So I think I would definitely want a chance to go back because it may provide me an opportunity to improve something.
Plus, it's I don't know, like it feels like it's in you to want to do that. Like to have, it's not like we have a connection towards Africa, like they always say, go back home. But it's not like we have a connection there because that's been broken. But it just feels like you would want to go back because you think like they've been through so much.
And I think just looking at it a little,
and to think like to meet, like I don't know what that would be, but like your relative from like the 1840 or something like that, like what they would look like. Or
and do you just meet that generation or do you meet everybody going back there? Because I'm thinking from a psychological standpoint, I would want to like meet and like really talk to those people to give me some insight into like the people that I know now. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking a little too deep. Now, I wouldn't be. These people.
Well, the family I know now, like I mean, I love some of them, but I wouldn't.
How would DMX say it?
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay. That was a good question, though. A good question.
But I think my answer would be to go back. Yours?
Yeah, definitely to go back.
So fuck the great-great-grandkids?
No.
What do you mean?
Because hopefully me going back and I can learn something.
The great-great-grandkids ain't gonna know you.
But who knows? I may learn something from back there that may set my great-great-grandkids up to, you know, with some generational wealth or something. So, I mean, not to say I don't care about them, but the chances that I would get to meet them.
But that's your typical answer is both. So you're going to go back in time.
I didn't say both.
You're just going to go back in time to do something for the ones in the future.
I don't want to meet I'm not saying I would meet the ones in the future. I want to go back in time that may allow me an opportunity to learn
There's no
something
opportunities
or do
to be
something.
had. You're just going to meet them.
Where I can just have.
There's no opportunities to be had. You're just
the
going
old
to meet
people.
them and get insight.
I would just meet the old people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would really say you want to meet the.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I would.
That's deep.
That is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Okay. All right, a couple other questions that's probably aside from that. If you had one outfit to wear the rest of your life, what would it be? What?
That's such a fun question. One outfit to wear for the rest of your life. Of my life.
And what color would it be?
What color?
Would it be a jean set? That's what I met her in, a jean set.
My jean set was fly.
It was fly for the time.
Okay, so
more than a lot, but it was fly for the time.
If I had one outfit to wear, it would be. Oh, so I can build like a whole outfit.
You got shoes, pants, shirt. That's it. No hat, no fucking pocketbook, no belt, no earring, none of that bullshit, okay? So for the sake of the show, you got one outfit.
It would be a jean jacket. It would be a white tee. It would be a pair of black tights.
Tights? You wear tights forever? You a hood rat.
If I've got to wear them forever, then they need to have some comfort. No, you know what?
I could take the hood out you.
Well, why would you want to try?
I'm just saying. Tights.
No. Okay.
You gonna wear yoga pants for the rest of your life.
Could you let me finish? This is my outfit. A jean jacket, a white tee. It would be a sequin skirt, probably hot pink, and a pair of white chucks.
And you will wear that every day for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So a pair of white chucks, sequence pink skirt, white tee, jean jacket.
Yep.
Wow.
That would be my outfit.
Mine's would be lambskin Milano spices.
It's not lambskin.
No, probably not a sweatsuit. It would be, I think I would wear a suit.
How comfortable would that be?
But I would look good every day of my life, the rest of my life. So no matter what, people couldn't say I look bad.
Yeah,
I wear a suit.
My thought is I would want to be comfortable. I would want to be cute. I would want it to be practical. And I would want it to be something that expresses me. You know,
I'm not saying I wear shoes, but I wear a suit.
So a suit and some sneakers. A tie?
No.
Okay. So just a jacket, a shirt, pants.
A whole suit, just a shirt, and some sneakers. And my sneakers would be like some low top, comfortable, just some sneakers. Like, don't have to be some ones or don't have to be no J's. I don't think I would wear J's every day for the rest of my life. Like, not no ones anyway.
What about your Crocs?
No, because it might rain.
Yeah.
Snow. So, yeah, I would just have a regular pair of nice, fall-looking sneakers.
That was a good thought-provoking question. I like that.
Yeah.
Y'all have all of the questions we've gotten, like in previous weeks and today, they're very thought-provoking. Not.
All right, this is along the same line. If you had one food you could eat for the rest of your life, what would it be? Pizza.
Pizza.
Really? Oh my God.
But I could change
Fucking pizza.
I could change it up. You can do a lot with pizza. If it was one food,
You can't put nothing on it. You just get pizza. Don't try to tell me you're getting buffalo and all that shit.
No, I can get white pizza sometimes. I could put some chicken on it.
No, you can't. You can't get no toppings.
So I could just white pizza or regular pizza?
Just pizza.
I would eat pizza.
Every day you would have slices of pizza.
It's nothing else that I would want to eat every day if I could only eat one thing.
Baby, you'd be 1,000 pounds.
What should I eat? Lettuce?
No, you'd be no, I'm just saying.
What would you eat?
Every day for the rest of my life.
Did it say one food or one meal? One food. Okay, what would you eat?
I think I would eat wings.
And you would start clucking.
I would eat wings. I like wings, and I don't think I could not go the rest of my life eating wings. I want to say a steak, but that's way too much red meat. Like, I've been had a heart attack in 5 years. So I'm going to say
at least wings, you can do different stuff with them.
Yeah. I could do a little Parmesan wing, do a little buffalo wing, and I'm not adding nothing on it. Like no other kind of meat or rice or nothing like that. Like you tried to.
No, you said how was I? I said pizza. Pizza comes in a variety. Chicken. Okay, but I can do white pizza or
regular pizza.
Regular pizza
or margarita.
I would take pizza.
Okay. If you had one song to play for the rest of your life,
oh God,
what would it be?
Whoo.
And that's it for our question. So think about that. You got one song to hear every day for the rest of your life.
Oh, well, you go first this time.
So one song I got to hear every day for the rest of my life probably would be Major. Because we got married to that.
This is why I love you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think I would want to hear that every day if I had to. A song. It wouldn't be no rap song. It wouldn't be a rock song. It would be more something easy like that. And that's a special song to me. So I think I would pick that to listen to if I had to listen to a song every day for the rest of my life. Like, I would want it to be calming and peaceful and be something that would make me smile. I'm sure I would get sick of it, but it would be like, all right,
I would just go
it's
something.
a memory time. Yeah.
My song would be Sade, Lovers Rock. Same reason, like it would have to be something calm, I love good singing, but it would just have to be something calm and mellow, and that has meaning to me. I think about you and I hear it. I love that song. Yeah, it would have to be something. And you know what I started to say?
But that's never been in our relationship.
It's been in my head, in the words.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, but it's just never been in our relationship.
Because you never
we
really.
We don't play it in the house. We don't play it in the car.
I have played it for you. You're not like a huge Sade fan.
What do you mean?
You like her, but I've played that song for you, and you're just like, okay.
I'm a huge Sade fan.
You don't play it in the house. You don't play it in the car.
I'm just saying. I just wondered where that came from. You just was like, okay.
I love that song, and that you singing it is definitely a tribute to you being the rock that I cling to in a storm.
Appreciate that. Thank you. That's it. No more questions.
They were great questions this week, though.
Did you have anything to add?
So one of the things I do want to ask you, and this might be a little touchy.
Ask her why.
Maybe, and this is kind of ties back to.
She got a question.
Ties back to what we talked about Dante Wright. As a black man in America who has their driver's license now, how does that make you feel, and your approach to just living life, and how does that make you feel?
It's weird because I've spent most of my life without ID. So having that tense feeling every time I got in the car every morning to drive to work or driving with you, being in the car with you kind of made me feel a little bit safer because it was your car. So now that I do have ID and a license and 7 ways to identify myself, it kind of makes me feel slightly relieved. But at the same time, I kind of fight that feeling because I know what can happen. To be honest with you, it makes it, when you think about it, if I'm being honest, I'm absolutely scared of being pulled over and killed or running up against a bad cop. But I can't move that way. So I can't come out the house every day with that kind of fear and that kind of looking over my shoulder like that. I have to move how I have to move, which is safe, which is honest, which is legal, and just hope. And God got me in His prayers. But it's not nothing that I can just walk out the house every day and live that fear. I can't move that way. So I know it's there. But I have to move the way that I move, and that's honest, it's legal, and I try not to think about that. That's one of those things, like you think about death, like you'll drive yourself insane. So I try to do everything that I'm supposed to do in a car. I have a plan in my head of, you hear, okay, you get pulled over, you get to a safe place, you roll all the windows down, you put your hands up. My wallet is always in reach so that I don't have to dig for shit. So that's in my head. And, knock on wood that I don't get pulled over often. I've gotten pulled over before, but I don't get pulled over often. So I just feel like just keep doing what I'm doing. And hopefully I'm not in that situation. That's why we pray every morning. That's why I ask God to bring me back home to you every day. But it's tough. And as a black man, if you think about that, just think about all the black men, if we thought about that every day. All the honest black men who got up and was getting in their car to go to work and sitting in their car warming it up. If they was thinking, damn, this is my day, we go to fuck back in the house. We never would go to work. You know what I'm saying? We go to fuck back in the house, but we can't move that way. We got to get out and do what we got to do and provide and move how we supposed to move. Just be safe, be legal, be honest, and you know, you ain't trying to hurt nobody. So hopefully they see that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Anything else?
No, just wanting to know. I know a lot of times, black men in general. I won't just say black men, but I only really know black men. Yeah, I don't know any white men.
Okay.
Don't share their feelings. So I just wanted to. I mean, I know that it's not you. You do share your feelings. So I encourage, other people to have conversations with the black men in your life, the black boys in your life. Too often, men, boys hide their feelings and they grow up to be men that hide their feelings and they have this rage and, frustration built up inside of them because they don't feel like they have the freedom to express that. On top of seeing situations like this happen throughout the country, there's also an epidemic of young black men being killed, and I think it's important that we have conversations with the young black men in our lives that we love to see how they feel, give them an opportunity to talk, to cry if they need to, in our family, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but if you got if my nephew, he's 17,
Mm-hmm.
if he got a curse, get his frustration out, I let him say some curse words. People, you can judge if you want, save it for yourself, but say some curse words, get your frustration out, tell me how you really feel. Our nephew, he's 16, he'll be 17, and he told me, well, he had told us before, since he was in the 7th grade, and he's in the 11th grade this year, so 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Every year since he's been in school, there has been somebody in his school, maybe not a friend, but somebody, a young black man that has been killed in his school that year. And he said, damn, he thought because of COVID, this would be the year that it didn't happen. But it did happen. Well, it happened to somebody from his school being killed. And again, it wasn't a friend, but he knew this person from having classes together, and it shook him up some. So I think it's really important that, we have these conversations to give our men, our boys, a chance to express themselves. And even if they're young boys that may not really understand the gravity of everything that's going, start those conversations just so that they get into the habit of learning how to express themselves, learning how to have conversations, learning how to share their feelings.
How old are you in the 7th grade?
You should be 12.
So 12 years old so for 5 years.
7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, yeah.
For 5 years, going on 6 years, he's been being conditioned to think that's normal. Mm-hmm. Like that's normal. That's along the lines of, if, like in sports terms, if a kid was born in I don't know, 2000 or 2008 or whenever, their expectation of LeBron James is like, oh my God, this dude always wins, because that's all they seen. They never seen the losing parts, or a Michael Jordan or somebody like that. Like they'll just be born in an era where they only see the winning. So he's born in an era where right now he's only seeing the deaths of the kids that he go to school with, and not necessarily his friends, but just kids that he go to school with. So every year it's normalized to him that, oh, a person got killed in school this year. That happened last year. That happened this year. Happened the year after, and it happened again. So like that's a huge problem. Is just the fact that shit happened. And in Philly this year, it's been all over the news, and it's only the 4th month in 2021.
And not just this year. For like this is we know what happened last year, and even throughout a pandemic, the murders didn't stop, and there's been no decrease in the violence.
No, it's been an increase. I mean, I think, and I don't know the numbers for sure, but it just seems like it's been an increase. And not that I watch the news a lot, because that shit obviously has a slant, but it's a lot of murders in Philly. It's a lot of people getting shot in Philly. I don't know why, but I could imagine Like when I grew up, it was the summertime when it got hot. A lot of murders happen. I could imagine this year when it get hot and people get outside. Like I can't imagine what it's going to be like in Philadelphia. And that's sad to be like, okay, if in a pandemic when it's barely people outside and you dying, can you imagine when they let people out and it's people all outside and if they've been cooped up for a year and it's 95 degrees outside?
Yeah, so just continue to talk to our black men and black boys, and that's why I wanted you to just kind of express how it made you feel. I know, again, you're not one of those people who are afraid. You feel like you have the freedom to express your feelings, but everybody may not have. So, we never like to tell people what to do, but I think that it is good, a good practice to start instilling, especially in our young black men. We want them to be able to express themselves and not hold in those feelings. So.
I agree. Holding in shit makes you feel bad, makes you feel poisoned, and letting out shit. For me, talking actually feels great, makes you feel good. So try it. You might like it.
That was all I had for today.
All right. Act 2 the podcast, episode 14, took place. We did it again. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate the likes. We were saying in our earlier episodes that we had some production coming, and we do. And we got it coming for an upcoming episode, and it's going to be dope. And we're going to have a fresh intro, and it's just going to be dope. Like, we hitting it out the park. So stay tuned for that. Act 2 the podcast. Can't shout it out enough. It's been dope. It's been a pleasure. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the shares, the comments. We appreciate y'all laughing. We appreciate the questions. We appreciate y'all giving a fuck and fucking with us. So thank y'all. And I'm humble. What you got?
Thanks for all of the support. Don't be afraid to repost, share. Some of the posts that we put up, we appreciate it. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a family member. Bring them along the ride. We appreciate it. And thanks for the questions. I like the questions. They were good.
If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.